Yat kirtanam yat smaranam yadikshanam yad vandanam yat shravanam yadarhanam lokasya sadyo vidhunoti kalmasham tasmai subhadrashravase namo namaha vichakshanaaya charanopasadanat sangam vyudasyo bhayato antaratmanah vindanti brahmagatim gataklamaha tasmai subhadrashravase namo namaha tasmai subhadrashravase namo namaha tasmai subhadrashravase namo namaha. Jai Guru, Jai Guru, Jai Guru. Did you reflect upon whatever you heard yesterday? Were those thoughts in your mind? Whatever I spoke and whatever Swamiji told you? See, this reflection is very, very important. And I would tell you that maybe because it's a 2-day program, and you know that again today we'll be listening to the lectures, or your questions will be replied. Maybe that is why your reflection was there in your mind. But what generally happens is that after some time, these reflections and all simply go away. Because the life is such, it comes with so much of distractions, attractions, allurements, and which give us short-lived pleasures. You have to reflect means you have to think about these, the messages that the Vedanta is giving us, telling you that you are the self, you are immovable, you are like the ocean, you are like the sun, you are like the sky, etc. And think and relate it to your everyday thought, words and behavior. That is what reflection means. That is, every day, whatever we are doing, what is happening in our personality, our mind is there. So mind is constantly moving, constantly it thinks. It is the nature of the mind. So the mind and the intelligence and the body. So mind will think, then we express it in words. We keep on talking also. We are very fond of talking, mostly. And then we translate it into action and we are active. So throughout the day, we are actually thought processes go on, whether we are working or not, thinking, talking, and we are in action. So in all this time, how we have related the message of Vedanta, which will take away our sufferings or which will lead us to an everlasting happiness, we have to give some time for it. But we do not do. Because if you have to think, we have to think about what we did throughout the day, again, spend some time. And it may not give you immediate result. But the attractions and allurements of the life, it gives pleasure immediately. Suppose you feel that, today I will read some slokas, Bhagavad Gita, Swamiji has said these slokas, or Ma has taught this sloka, so I will go through it and reflect. And then you get a phone call or some friends say that please come, we are all meeting, let us go out and eat. That gives you short-lived pleasure, but immediate pleasure. So we say, tomorrow. So you'll close your book or you immediately get up and go. This is what happens in life. So what we should do so that we are able to come away from the non-essential activities of the world and make out some time for us to remember, to remind the mind that how we have to proceed. To be speaking frankly in these 2 days, what Vedanta you can imbibe. But at least you are blessed that you have heard something. And if you're really serious, you may like to continue hearing or continue pursuing it. And I hope many of you will do. Now the question is, from here in this 2-day session that we are having, you must be able to take something back so that you can follow it. You can follow it. Now, reading all your questions and your difficulties, what you have written, Swamiji went through all of them which were asked to Swamiji. I find that you have asked very good questions. It has been, I think our volunteers did. Some questions are to me and some are to Swamiji. So I also got some of the questions. And I find mostly what you have been asking is, or what you have expressed through this is, we are not satisfied with what we are doing. That is, we are not satisfied with ourselves. We are not satisfied with our behavior and activities, our performances. We are not satisfied with the home atmosphere. We are not satisfied with the children at times, or in the profession, not satisfied with the boss, the nature of work, or the atmosphere of the office situation. So, the main thing is that we are not satisfied. We want to have something more, which will satisfy us. And what is that? How will we get a contentment in life so that we feel that, yes, whatever is okay. And I am very happy. By being happy and feeling that it's okay, it's not that we become inactive and lazy. No, not at all. We have to be excellent. Excellent in everything. That is, whatever we think, we talk, we act, in everything we should be excellent. That is, we give our best. Wholehearted focus we must have in doing everything, whether it is spreading a cloth over this table. See, they have put a tablecloth here. Or all of you are sitting on covered tables and chairs. They should be properly kept. It should not be that one end is high up and another end is down below. People do like that. There are many whose mind is so restless that when they are asked to cover simply a table, they will not be able to do it properly. Why? Because the focus and the wholeheartedness and the joy of doing something well is not there. We must get joy in whatever we do. Joy in thinking, joy in expressing. How will you get joy in thinking and expressing? When your mind gets elevated by the thoughts that you have thought. And whatever you have told, by that your mind gets elevated. Then you will get a joy of, the other day, it happens. It is not only for you who are maybe beginners or a little ahead. It happens with people who have tread this path and has a little more knowledge. The other day, here there is a girl who is working in our center. She suddenly came and told me that, Ma, I want to tread this path. She's a young girl, a Tamil girl, very poor family, and has had a lot of sufferings in her little life that she has had so far. One day she told me about all those. Then she says, Ma, I want to lead this life. So I started laughing. I said, what do you mean by this? Then she said, and I asked, why? Then she says that I find that everything is very peaceful here. So I feel that this path must be very good. So I want to lead this path. I want to read Bhagavad Gita. I said, Acha, you are feeling like that also? And then her question was, I want to lead and pursue this path. What do I have to do? Simple question. Simple question. What do I have to do? So I was talking to her. I said, you keep in touch with such people. You will be going and taking up some other work. But you keep touch with the people in whose company now, at present, you feel peaceful. Read some good books. I'll try to get one Bhagavad Gita, Tamil Bhagavad Gita for you, and maybe some other books which you will find is quite good for you, helpful for you. And, this, while explaining, I found that I was telling her this, which I think the first time I have told. And I said that, see, you want to bring up a garden. Suppose you want to bring up a garden. You have to dig the earth, you have to put the proper manure, sow a seed, and then you water that seed. When the plant comes up, you have to take care of it, throw away the weeds, and slowly that plant will grow, and from in that plant, beautiful flowers will blossom. So that is what you have to do in your mind. You have to do such things which will be helpful for the seed that you are going to sow. What is the seed? Seed of, here it is Vedanta, or seed of knowing yourself, or seed of being united with God. So that seed you are sowing, and you have to see how the whole thing can grow up. That is, you have to protect it from goats and cows, give some shelter for it, manure, water, see that it gets proper sunlight, and whatever is not good for the growth of that plant, what is not good? The weeds. You have to throw away the weeds. So you have to do that. So you have to do certain things which will be helpful for the growth, and you have to also see whatever is not helpful for the growth of the plant. This is what you should do. So I was talking to her, and this example came to my mind, an example which elevated my mind itself. You understand? Her face was blooming. It got lighted up. She was very pleased. Along with that, what happened? I also felt very happy. So, as I was, your thoughts, your expressions in words, as well as your activity, all should be such that your mind gets elevated to higher and higher levels. So that you have to see throughout your day, at least at the end of the day, introspect or just think of the day where you have really done this. That is, you have helped yourself by elevating thoughts, elevating words and actions, where you have put yourself wholeheartedly and where you have not. Only then you will be able to progress. So, this giving yourself a time, that is, I was talking about, you must summarize now and make out some kind of a routine or a discipline for you. See, by hearing the word discipline, you should not get afraid. Oh, what is Ma going to tell us? No. It is a discipline which you should make for yourself. I remember when I was in the beginning years of sadhana, I used to make many routines, I was working, and our Swamiji, he told me that you leave your job. I was very young. I was maybe 34 years old. And he said that you leave your job. Now you study the scriptures, especially the Bhagavatam. So I thought my Guru knows the best for me. So I left. I'm not saying that you all have to leave your job. I'm just giving an example to let you know that this also happens. So I left. So many people, they came and said, hey, you are a fool. You got such a good job. I was a lecturer in a college. So you are building the future of students. Such a good job you are doing. What will you do? You will get bored. And then sometimes by their talks, I will also get a little, shaken. That, are they telling the truth? Will I really feel so? Then one day I thought, one day I'll have to retire. That day, what I will feel it right now. What is there? And anyway, I left. So, I used to make routines. I had a lot of time and I was never regretting the fact that I have left, because I found that from childhood, I have only studied and then appeared for exams. Again, next year, studying an exam. Like this, I have been only, and as soon as I finished my PhD, I started teaching. So again, it was studying to take a class. Studying to take a class. Never, we had so many desires, so many thoughts that I'll read this, I'll write this, I'll listen to that music, etc., or go to some, spiritual places, stay there for some time. Nothing happened. So now that everything was, I had left the job, I found that there was time for everything. I could read, I could write, I could simply sit, and I was staying in a place which was full, abundant in nature. So I was looking at the trees, finding God in that. Like Swamiji said, try to see God everywhere and in everything. So that became very easy because I had some time. So I would make routines. What I could not do was getting up very early in the morning. I had a great wish that I will get up early in the morning, then start reading Bhagavad Gita and learn every day 3-4 slokas. That I was not able to do. So I would get up 6 o'clock, sometimes 6:30, and that was very late for me. I wanted to get up at 4 o'clock, which is called Brahma Muhurta. So I was not able to do. So I asked Swamiji that, Swamiji, I'm not able to. I was in the household at that time. So when I met Swamiji, I asked him, Swamiji, I'm not able to get up at 4 o'clock as I wish. Swamiji said, you do one thing. When do you get up? I said 6:30. Maybe I was getting up at 6:30. So you keep an alarm for 6:15. Get used to getting up at 6:15 for some time. Get used to it. Then you make it 6 o'clock. Then after some time, when you get used to 6 o'clock, make it 5:45. Like that, you simply come down and you will be able to get up at 4 o'clock. I literally did that. And I found that without even an alarm, I was getting up at 4 o'clock. Because I got used to it by that time. And it was a joy. In fact, I remember once when I went to my mother's place and we had to while coming back, we had to take a very early morning train. So my mother suddenly comes at night and says, oh, what will happen? The alarm is not ringing. See, there was one alarm clock in the house. So mother comes and says that, how will you get up? The alarm is not ringing. It's not working. So I said, Mother, it will not be necessary. Because now I have got used to getting up at 4 o'clock without an alarm. So what is this? Why I am telling you this story? Effort. One has to make effort. Effort has to be given. If you have only wishes and dreams and you like, and you do not give time or effort to it, you will not be able to achieve it. So effort has to be given. And do you think it is something big effort? It's not. Maybe I would have taken 6 months to get to 4 o'clock. You can also do it. So similarly, this reading. So Swamiji said, you read Bhagavatam. So I brought one. I did not know Sanskrit at all. And little bit only I knew. So I brought one translation in English and Sanskrit to English dictionary. Swamiji had said, you should read the Sanskrit verses and then read the translation. So Sanskrit verses reading was really a headache for me because I knew little bit because I know Hindi and Bengali, so I can read it. But it used to give me a headache because I did not know where to break, how to pronounce and all that. But very, very studiously, I would start studying at 9 o'clock or so, like a student, not like a storybook that I read the story and over. Like a student means what? If you have to sit for an exam, you should be able to write properly. Or if you have to tell it, suppose somebody asks you a viva, you must be able to say it without looking into the book. I thought that I must assimilate so that it becomes mine. It's not only reading. See, we can read continuously. We can hear lectures continuously. You may come here, this workshop you have attended. If another workshop is there, you will go and attend that. Maybe some lectures you will attend. Maybe some books you will read. That is not enough. Not at all enough. You have to assimilate. You have to reflect. You have to assimilate. You have to make the knowledge your own. So that you become that. The spirituality means what? When we read other subjects, say English, history, geography, economics, science subjects, we just know about the subject. We master the subject. We may be renowned in our field. But we don't become that subject. That's not possible. We may be thinking constantly on that subject. Spirituality is what? What is spirituality telling us about ourselves? About the qualities of a seeker? About a bhakta who is a devotee? About God? And when you constantly think about that, you become that. That is, you gain the qualities of Atma, or Brahman, the self, or the devotee. The true devotee's qualities also you will gain when you keep on reflecting, keep on reflecting. That is, if you keep on reflecting that one shloka, that Akashavallepa Vidura Goham, keep on reflecting on that, and in various circumstances you will find that you don't have to remember and reflect. At one time it will just come to you. Just come to you. Because you have got one with it. Like, say, a girl gets married, she has a baby, she becomes a mother when the baby is born. Initially she will think, oh, I've become a mother now. I've got a child now. But after some time, will she have to think that I've got a child, I've got a child, I've got a child? Will she remind herself? No. Because it has become her nature, her system. She has become that. So, in spirituality, we become that. Becoming, being and becoming. Now, so for all of you who have to say you are listening here, there, I was saying that it is not enough. You have to feel and reflect, assimilate and become that. And for that, you have to make a routine for yourself, I was saying. Routine, very simple routine. Make a routine which you can follow. But it should be an elevating routine. You understand? Elevating routine, which will make your mind elevated, your intelligence more sharp and clear, will make your body also very, very nice. So that kind of a routine. And in the midst of what? In the midst of whatever you are doing. I was talking about growing a garden. So, what you are trying to do now? You are trying to grow a garden of spirituality in your mind. And in that, you are making a routine for yourself so that your mind, your intelligence, everything becomes elevated. And you have to discard and remove what will not help this. Right? Get it? Whatever doesn't help it, you will have to find out and discard them, remove them. So I was saying that I used to make a lot of routines at that time, in my beginning years of sadhana. And I would see that for 1 or 2 months I have followed, then I have slowly slipped from that. And all these things will help me to slip also. What? Oh, today some guests have come, so I cannot follow my routine. Maybe I thought that from 7 to 8 p.m. I'll meditate or I will read a book, spiritual book, and reflect upon that. Maybe at 7 o'clock, when some friends came in, so you have to attend to them, talk to them, all those things you have to do. So gone. Okay, tomorrow I will do. Tomorrow something else happens. Like this, time was going by. So I will make another routine which I can follow, I thought. Like this, so many routines I have followed. But please understand what is behind it. Behind it is the yearning. It's not that I am telling you that I had made 3-4 routines and I followed them and then I progressed. I am not interested in saying that. I am trying to tell you what? That you must see the yearning in a seeker or a devotee who, having failed in one routine, feels that, okay, this is not working, so let me make another routine for myself. But I must pursue. I must pursue. This should be the idea. This should be the idea in any seeker. I think all of you want to become better, to become calmer. I started with this, that in all the questions that you have asked and whatever Swamiji took up, it shows that every mind is thinking, I am lacking in something. I want to get something, achieving which I will become peaceful. I will become satisfied. I will not have any more question in my mind or grumbling in my mind. I will not have. So all of us need it. So you have to find out what will be good for yourself. When I used to read, I told you that very studiously, because I was yearning to read, yearning to follow my routines. Don't ever think that I had all the time to sit and read. I was in the household, so a lot of things of the household was there. But I made this time available to me so that maybe 1.5 hours or so, and every day at the same time I would sit, just like we go to school to learn during a particular time. In a college we go similarly. Now what happened? After my reading would be over, I would go to the kitchen and cook. Now what happened? Within few days I found the next door neighboring lady. Her husband has gone to office. She had 2 small children, one going to school and one was still to go to school. So after the husband has gone out, she catching hold of the hand of the little son, she has come out of her house. I could see from the window, she is just getting out of the gate. I just saw. But what she did, she entered my house. And she entered. So I had to welcome her, make her sit. She is a neighboring lady. I cannot say that I am studying now. So I made her sit, talk to her. Whatever she was saying, I was listening. And most of it what? About the neighborhood, about that person, all are different persons. So, but patiently I was hearing. And then I brought tea for her, snacks for her, everything. And she went, spending a lot of time. And I found that whatever I had to read, I could not do. So, anyway, I thought tomorrow I will read. Tomorrow again she came. Like that, it became, every day she started coming. After 3-4 days, I was feeling very miserable. I could read the same portion later also. But that period was very quiet. It was very, very suitable for my reading. So I was feeling a little sorry. Then I thought that I cannot tell her anything. I cannot hurt her by saying anything. So an idea struck me. Next day, I started cooking in the beginning. At 9 o'clock, I started cooking. So she came, I invited her, welcomed her, made her sit, brought tea also. And whatever she was talking, I listened to also. But in between what was happening, my pressure cooker was giving a signal, so, and then I will run to the kitchen, or I will just say, wait, I have to just go and stir my vegetables. So I will go frequently to the kitchen and come back and listen to her. Like this. And then after she left that period, I was reading. After 2-3 days, I found that she came out of her house and she never entered my house. She went past my house, and after 2-3 buildings, she entered another house and went inside. So I felt, I was young. And I got this feeling and revelation that when we want to have time for ourselves, we can really do so. We can cut down on the non-essentials without hurting anybody or anything. We can do. But that yearning should be there. The yearning should be there. Since the yearning was there, maybe for a few days, some years back, maybe I would not have taken this step. I would also very jolly, in a jolly and, in a merry manner, I would be every day talking and listening. And so this happened, and I felt, so for spiritual pursuit, if we have to have some time, from the time that we are awake and we are active, we have got many responsibilities, many duties, we can really take out time. And slowly it happened as the sadhana grew, and I was feeling more and more inclined. Started telling friends and relatives that, see, this is the time when I do meditation. This is the time when I read some book. Can you please come before this, or can you come after this? So initially, people were a little shocked. What has happened to this person? Why she is saying like this? She never used to say like this. What has happened to you? So I would only simply smile. Slowly, they understood. And then even if they would invite me to their house, they would say, oh, this is the time you cannot come, no? Okay, you can come a little earlier or later. But by doing so, what has driven me? My yearning. And to what? Finding out time for my practices. What would elevate my mind? Practices means not, simply doing puja. Most of us feel that practice is light a lamp, then offer flowers, and then chant some hymns. That is the practice. No, not that. That also you may do, but not alone that. If you have to make your mind and intelligence sharper, more soft, more kind, more elevated by the various virtues, then you have to think. Those practices, what will help you in that practice? So you can have time. So never tell me that I don't have time. How will we do? We are so active. We are so hectic in our lives. Yes, we are. But still, you can get some time. Suppose you are taking bath. Can you not think at that time? But do you think? Suppose you are going, when you have got up, you make your bed, you take your dresses to go to the bathroom, you wash your teeth, your mouth, then ultimately take bath. Maybe you are cooking in the kitchen, or maybe you have gone marketing. Whenever you are alone, you have to think. You have to remind yourself that actually I am this. This is what I am learning. Am I being able to apply this to life? What else? What further? All these thoughts can occupy your mind, but do these thoughts occupy you? Never. Maybe sometimes. They do not. Because we are having expectations. Right in the beginning I said, everybody is only showing a dissatisfaction with the life. Not too much maybe, but a dissatisfaction. And why this dissatisfaction comes? Because of expectations. What are the expectations? Expectations from the whole world. In the family, I want my husband to be like this. Or the husband feels my wife should be like this. And both of them are not having all the qualities that one wants. So there is suffering, agitation, irritation, anger. Similarly for the child, I want my child to do best. I want my child to have all the values, all the good virtues in life. But do I have? Have I practiced to have those values which I am trying my child to have, or I wanting my children to have? Even at this age, being a mother or being a father, we are not practicing those values, but still we want our children to have them. I have seen one father beating the child, saying that, get up early in the morning and start reading. But the father, he gets up at 9 o'clock. Is he a role model for the children? He is not. So like that. So, this is what we have to constantly think, that we have to remind ourselves what this life is, what we want, that we have to practice, and we can get some time for practice. Even though we are in hectic activity, nothing will go wrong. Our yearning should grow more and more so that we get satisfaction, contentment in life. And then only we can become excellent. Because so many other things are occupying our mind that excellence doesn't come. We are not able to perform in an excellent manner. We are neither an excellent, we all want to become an excellent daughter, son, husband, wife, excellent neighbor, excellent citizen. In whatever profession we are, we want to become excellent. But we are giving indulgence to all the things which keep our mind at a lower level, not in a higher level. That is why we are not able to become excellent. So now we will see what we can do, what routine we can form, or what all should we do, so that at least in a small measure you can follow this path. And once you start growing in your yearning, you will find that you will be able to find out what you should do. Just as I found out that by starting to cook at 11 o'clock instead of 9 o'clock, I will be able to, starting to cook at 9 o'clock and not 11 o'clock, I'll be able to maybe get rid of this lady who was coming every day and not helping me at all, but taking away my time for studies. Very recently one boy came to our, I just remembered one question about children, I think. It is here. Raising child when parents have different mindset. This, I suddenly remembered, a small boy had come, about 10 years old, to our ashram, and his parents are separated. So I think he's staying with the grandparents, that is father's parents, and sometimes visiting the mother. So the boy is very sharp, very intelligent, everything, very joyful, and lot of energy. But one day he told Swamiji, I want to talk to you alone. So Swamiji said, yes, what is it? So when everybody who was in the room went out, he was crying and telling Swamiji, everybody says you are God. Because in our tradition and culture, Guru is supposed to be the God, the human God, who can give us, who can guide us in our path, tell us which way to go so that we can be happy and fulfilled. So he was saying, he must have heard from his parents-in-law who are Swamiji's disciples, you are God. Can you not make my parents unite? Can can you not make my parents unite? This was the question of the child. He was crying and telling. Now, in this, how will the husband and wife, what will they do? They are not agreeing with each other. And day after day, the child is seeing that division between them. He loves the mother, he loves the father. But every day he is seeing the division. So what is he going to do? I think it depends mostly on parents. As Swamiji was saying, do not expect, but accept and proceed. This is what, from beginning, we have to just take these words. Do not expect, but accept and proceed. So, live this. Everywhere we are having this problem. Expectation. I was telling you, we have expectations from everybody. So, when the husband and wife, they expect something from each other and they are not fulfilled, if there is acceptance, endurance, patience, tolerance, then they can still go forward. At least one person has to have. So there, the spiritual teachings, they help us accept. And suppose this is a story which is very, very difficult. You may say that sometimes it becomes very difficult to stay. Sometimes there is absolute disharmony. So we can take those cases separately. And what should be the outlook and attitude of the husband or wife in those particular cases. We are telling generally that when we are expecting only, we are not accepting the situations. In everything, our expectation brings about suffering for us constantly. So we have to be non-expectant. How will we be non-expectant? Always think that maybe some others are expecting certain things from me which I am not fulfilling for them. You get it? That is, I am expecting, say, from my father or mother or children or something. But I also may be having some traits which others want me to change. They are expecting that I will change, but I am not doing it. So thinking about that it takes time to change. It takes time. Everybody has good and bad. So do not get so irritated and so annoyed or so hateful for anybody or anything. That thought should be there. That is, do not be so irritated or agitated by anybody's behavior. We should always be telling, from this world I want nothing. Nothing. But I should be one. By that, I should not be an idle person. I should be giving my best. I should be thinking the best. I should be doing my work in the best possible manner. And radiate happiness and peace to the people who are around me. This should be my attitude. What others are doing, if others are not doing things correctly, suppose you have that confidence and relationship to tell that, see, this is not the way, please do it in a different manner. If you have that relationship and the confidence, you can tell. Otherwise, simply accept it. But by that, whatever is unfair, unreasonable, I'm not saying that you have to accept that. Wherever you can bring a change, we can bring a change. We should try for that. But not hurting anybody at all. Not hurting people by our words, by our behavior. These are all elevated virtues of a person. Once we do so, what happens? The mind will be constantly thinking and getting agitated over this behavior of ours. What is that? Thoughts, expressions, and words, and behavior. So throughout the day, whatever we have done, suppose in telling somebody that, see, what you are doing is not all right. It should be done like this, or should think like this, or how you have spoken has not been all right. if I say that in a manner which is also hurtful, then I will be only suffering later that why did I talk like this? My suffering will be double. So, we have to see how to behave, how to think, how to talk. There, this is the cream of spiritual sadhana. That thoughts, words and actions, every moment we have to sublimate them, refine them and take ahead. Grow. Why? That beautiful garden example, we have to grow a garden where beautiful flowers, fragrant flowers we are trying to build up. And whatever weeds and other plants which are not good for the growth of this plant, flowering plant, we have to throw. So this is our aim. That aim of life should not be forgotten. We must not forget the aim of life. We must remember. So I was telling you that whenever we are alone, do we think of these elevated or lofty thoughts? Do we give any time? If not, we must make a habit of thinking. This habit, it has to become a habit. It cannot be learned only in a classroom like this, or a workshop like this, or even going to listen to somebody's lecture, or listening to YouTubes. You have to really, I said YouTubes because there are a lot of lectures available these days in YouTubes. You have to actually pursue, live. After assimilating the messages, you have to live. You have to see how you are. Somebody has written, shall I go fast in some of the questions? Good questions. Somebody has written, do I have to do rituals? See, rituals, it's not that you have to leave ritual, or if you have been doing, you cannot do it. It's not like that. All our rituals are for the growth of our mind. Again, I'll take the garden example. All our rituals means what? Worshipping. Worshipping, we may have an idol, or we may have an idol of mud or a stone, or we may have a picture, and we light lamps, we burn incense sticks, we chant some slokas, we give some nivedyam, we offer flowers, we do some arati. All this we love to do. Even if we are not doing, we love to see. That is why we go to temples, at least once in a while, if not every day. So when we do that, what happens to our mind? The mind becomes full of a devotion, a soft feeling. We do not know actually whom we are worshipping. Who is this God? Why does he look like this? Why he has so many different forms? We don't know. Not at all. But what happens? By this worship, either watching it or doing it yourself, you get a feeling of divinity, feeling of purity, feeling of holiness, which is not there in the ordinary life. And we feel very, very pure. We feel a love for everybody. So all that happens. So when we do any worship, what we do? Say we are collecting flowers, cleaning the flowers, making the place clean, then you are lighting a lamp, you have to clean the lamp, then light it. We should be seeing that oil doesn't drip. Then incense stick. So many things you are doing. By that, what is happening? If you want to do it in a very clean, nice manner, seeing that the place is clean, the flowers are clean, the oil doesn't drip, the lamp is shining, it should shine. Actually, many people, when they do worship, they are not very conscious and not very alert that the lamps are shining. But when you wash a lamp, what thought you should have, You must have a thought. As I am cleaning this lamp, I must clean my mind. This is what our Vedas want us to do. That is, every act of worship should take us to a higher level of purity, of holiness, of divinity, of being with God. Now, whether we should continue doing that only, it is just like if you do only that, what happens? You are remaining in class 1. Remaining in class 1. Every day, day after day, hurriedly you come and light a lamp, burn some incense stick, chant a few slokas, or if you have thought that on such and such day I will visit a temple, you go and visit it. By that, your mind is not getting elevated. It has to get elevated. To what? Where we will be knowing that my God is my indweller, and that I am there, that all-pervading, eternal, imperishable I. And my God, who is nothing but this self, is here inside me, who is the most close person to me. Anybody else is at a distance, but the indweller is the closest one, to whom I can say anything, any prayer, any anger, anything I like, I can talk to him. So, now the question comes, should I be doing only this? After doing my prayers or meditation even, I get up and I have to interact with the whole world. And during that time, I am not able to touch this divinity at all. Right? You forget. Because your work is so much pressure of work, pressure of duties, pressure of responsibilities, and other allurements, distractions. So the mind simply goes away. After a long time, maybe at night, you will feel that, oh, I could have remembered at times. We were told that on and off we should remind ourselves what is my real identity. And I have not remembered it throughout. So then comes the next step. So you can think, if I'm doing some kind of spiritual practice of this meditation or worship, what about the work? Then throughout the day, whatever work we are doing, we should associate it to God. That is, our work becomes the worship. You understand? Work becomes the worship. That is, whatever we do, we should feel that as if this work has been given to me by Lord, by God today, and I have to fulfill that work, I have to do it. So I will do it with my whole mind and heart and my devotion. That sloka which Swamiji said, where the devotee is saying that I have got up in the morning by your call, you have prompted me, so I have got up. When we sleep, we lie down on the bed. Can we say that what time the sleep has come and taken over? We cannot say. Suppose I have lay down at 10 o'clock at night, whether I'll go off to sleep at 10:15 or 10:30 or 5:10 is not in our hands. It is that supreme power who puts us into sleep. It is that supreme power who is my indweller, who is the self, is controlling us and making us get up also. So the devotee is saying, "O Lord, you are making me get up early in the morning. And when I get up, I find the day is ahead of me. I am grateful to you that you have given me one more day in my life. And whatever work you have given, some work I do not like, some work I like, some is favorable, some are not. But since you are the controller, you are the one who gives me life day after day, I will do all the work with excellence, and I will do it because I want to make you happy." You get it? That should be So when you are in your active life, on and off you must think this. On and off you must think this. That I'm doing everything because I'm doing as an instrument. We become egoistic. When something we have done, I feel that I have done it. If something goes wrong, you will blame everything on earth. This did not happen, that did not happen, that is why I could not perform. But if you have performed well, all the credit you want to take yourself. You means, including me maybe. Everybody, all of us. This is what. So, we have to think of God when we do any kind of work. Say when we take, it's very, very interesting. All these things, slowly when we do practice with lot of fondness, the spiritual practices, many such things will become clear to you. Very clear. You will get clarity. Say when we are taking bath, we just take bath. We just go and pour water, or you stand under the shower and you bathe yourself. But even at that time we can associate ourselves with God. How? We can think that, see, my body is becoming cooler. Let my mind become cool and calm. Then we can think further that with this water, only my external body is becoming cooler. What are those by which my internal mind will get good values so that I will become cool and calm? And our scriptures say that, this Atma, the self, it is just like a liver. And it has got so many virtues. That the river has its shore, then it has its ripples, the waves, and all that. So it says, Atma Nadi Samyama Toya Purna. This self is like a river where restraint is the water. Restraint. What is the restraint? Restraint of mind and senses. I told you, and you also know, that there are allurements and distractions which take you away from this path. Even though you think that, I will pursue this path with lot of fondness. But there are distractions and allurements which come through what? Senses, sense organs. So what is that? Restraints. Restrain you have to do. You have to restrain your mind. You have to restrain your senses. You have to see whether by getting allured, whether you are hindering your path, bringing in obstacles to your path. Path of what? Having that aim of elevating the mind and ultimately reaching the soul, where you will be everlastingly happy and fearless. So whether you are hindering by getting allured and getting distracted, whether giving indulgence to that, whether you are doing harm to yourself. And Samyama Toya Purna. So in a river, there will be water. So that water is Samyama, restrain. Atma Nadi Samyama Toya Purna Satyavaha Shila Tata. Satyavaha means truth is the flow. The river will have a flow. So the self has truth as its flow. On that, everything is based. Truth. Dayormihi. And the waves or ripples in a river will have. And this Atma Nadi, what is the wave and ripple? Daya. That is compassion and mercy. So you should mold your mind like that to have compassion and mercy. Tatrabhishekam kuru Panduputra. This was told to Yudhishthira, that, Yudhishthira, it's no use going and dipping in a holy river. Only the body will become clean. If you want to make your mind clean and pure, then dip into yourself, into your Atma, knowing yourself, where restraint, then compassion, and truth is there. So, these thoughts should help you. You should definitely keep these in mind. So, again, let us come back to routine. So, you can make your own routine. Make a routine of getting up at a proper time, not too late. I'm not saying you have to get up at 4 o'clock in the morning or 5 o'clock even. You get up conveniently. But always try to get up as early as possible. As early. The sleep during that time is very, very deep. So everybody wants to sleep at that time. When between 5 and 6 and 7, you feel very comfortable to sleep. So you have to make it such a manner that your yearning, your love, your fondness, knowing that if I get up a little early, I will be undisturbed. Nothing. Not for anything else. You will be able to undisturbedly read something, reflect on something. If you want to do meditation, you can do meditation undisturbedly. And you can carry on. Then read one or two shlokas from Bhagavad Gita. You start from beginning, read. You will find that Bhagavad Gita will give you lot of help, guidance to become stable. We are always, yesterday we have discussed quite well, that we always become depressed or disappointed or frustrated, we fear, we are anxious. But how to remain stable in the midst of everything? Bhagavad Gita will help you in that. And how will you read? There are books where you can get the word meanings. I am telling you, for many serious, I would of course want everybody to be serious, but at least for very serious ones, you should write the shloka. You don't know Sanskrit. So there are books where English letters are used. So write each word. Then you have read the shloka, read the meaning of each word, get a book. It will be available in the Ramakrishna Mission. There is a book by Swami Tapasyananda, big book, where all, you can ask our devotees also. They will know, can tell you. Each word meaning is given. And then the meaning of the shloka is given. Maybe a little bit of commentary is also given. So what you can do, this is studiously reading and keeping your mind away from distractions into it. You should keep a time when you can do that. And every day do it at the same time. So you have written down all the words. Next, after having read the book and the meanings of the words, try to write the meanings by yourself. As you will tell your children, no? I am telling you. When you teach your children, I think this is the way you want your children to learn. Learn it well. So I am also telling you like this. Read the meanings and then write it on a notebook without seeing the book. If you forget, then again consult the book. No harm. But like this, you can understand the sloka which will remain in your mind. It is not that you just read it and you feel that I have read it. It will remain in your mind. Then there are such beautiful shlokas, One shloka is saying, Vihaya kaman yas sarvan pumam charati nisprihaha nirmamo nirahankaraha sashanti madhigachyati. Vihaya kaman yas sarvan. It says, if you can leave your desires. When a person leaves the desires, vihaya kaman yas sarvan. Sarvan kaman vihaya. It is all the desires, expectations you leave, attachments, clinging, possessiveness. We cling to people. We cling to our possessions. We are not able to let go. That is why we are having so much of cluttering. So, vihaya kaman yas sarvan pumams charati nispriha. A person roams about without any desire, and also nirmamaha, not having the feeling of I-ness. That is, I-ness means this is I and all these things are mine. Not the self-I, the small I, which is selfish, small I. We were talking yesterday about the greater I, or the universal I, which is all-pervading, which is boundaryless. This small I is that I have done this. I am so good. My decisions are the right ones. I know these things very well. That I, which is egoistic, the ego. And mineness. All around me are mine. And I hold on to it. I do not let go. I become possessive. I become attached. So attached that we are not able to perform well. Attached to my own ideas and preconceived ideas. I feel that if only in my life, these things will happen, I will be happy. Is it not so? We feel like that. We feel that if only my son will get this particular job, or my daughter will get married in such and such place with such and such person, or our business will go like this, or I get a house, or maybe 2-3 houses. We have a plan in life. And that plan, we feel that only if that plan is implemented, then only we will be happy in life. It doesn't happen, and that is why we are so frustrated in life. So it says, nirmamaha, nirahankaraha, don't be egoistic. If a person can become like this, that is the aim of a person. So, our aim should be that. Till now we have been saying there is a higher purpose of life, to know the I all-pervading, eternal, imperishable, changeless, etc., etc. But actually in action, in thought, in words, what is it? That we have to become expectation, lack of expectation, that is non-expectant. Let there not be a particular wish. Yes, we should wish for excellence. It's not that hearing this you feel that when you go for work in your office, you feel that, oh, I need not expect that everything will be all right, or I should be doing well. Not like that. You should do your best with excellence, perfectly, well, but not expecting any particular result of it. If the result is very good, it's okay. If the result doesn't come, then also you be stable. That even-mindedness, that stable-mindedness, that is what we must have. If a person is like that, it says, Saha Shanti Madhigacchati. What does he get? Shanti. As long as we are having expectations and desires, particular ones, specific ones, if I don't get this, I'll become mad. I do not know how I will live. That kind of, possessive desire we should not have. We should allow nature to take part and give us the results as nature wishes. But for that, we should not become lazy and idle. We have to be best. So, you read Bhagavad Gita, at least 1 shloka or 2 shlokas. This is the study of scriptures. Swamiji told you to sit for 20 minutes, watch your thoughts, watch your mind, and this is nothing different from what I am saying. By watching your thought and mind, what will you find? How you have behaved, thoughts, words and actions, how you have been throughout the day. By watching yourself, you will come to know that. And you will come to know where you have helped in your sadhana and where you have not. Where you have really you have helped yourself, I should say, in the sadhana, where your mind has become elevated and where it is not. So take a resolution. Tomorrow, I'm not going to be like this. Tomorrow, I'll be different. If a similar situation I have to face tomorrow, I will be different. I will not react so suddenly. I will step back and think that sudden reactions are not good. I must be more stable and more even-minded. Think about it and then give a reply. This is what you should do. And all work, all that you do, you should feel as if it is prompted by God and you are doing it for God. You know, at one time, I was in the household and I was given, I got the very good opportunity, very fortunate opportunity of preparing food for a Mahatma, a sannyasi. He was staying in the locality and he used to take some classes, and along with others also, I used to go and attend. Many times he would say that for a sannyasin, food should come from various places. Only one person should not be giving him food, because sannyasins are supposed to go around and actually beg. So at that time, I think only one family, one lady used to prepare food for him. So every day hearing that, I used to think that, is he meaning that I also should prepare food for him? But I was not confident, because I have never cooked for a sannyasin. What all purity is necessary, what all we have to do, I didn't know. So still I decided and asked him one day that if you feel I am eligible, then I can bring food for you one day. So he said yes. And he fixed a day for me, say Tuesday. So that was a great opportunity. I feel blessed actually. And then, because in our mind, Mahatmas, we consider them to be very pure and holy. So then we brought a orange color bag. Who told us to bring an orange color bag, I don't know, but bought one orange color bag, went to the market and chose very good items. First I asked, whoever was preparing the food asked what all things he is taking. So going to the market, chose everything, good ones. That is the time this all thought also came, that when we choose for somebody, some Mahatma, we should not buy for ourselves and keep in the same bag. For him or for any puja item also. If you have to give a puja, you offer some fruits in the temple or anything you offer it should not be taken from the fridge. Whatever you have, you take from the fridge. It is not like that. You must actually think that it is to be offered to that person. Slowly, also later, I'm digressing from the whole story, but slowly, as the mind becomes refined, more refined, and you grow to higher levels of the mind, you will feel that anything you offer from somebody, it should be bought or collected considering that person in mind. Not from what you have, you give one. You get it? That is the selflessness. Selflessness. You become expanded in your mind. So this Swamiji, who we bought vegetables for him and would keep in that orange bag, never keeping the bag on the floor, because felt that, it should be always carried with lot of love and fondness in hand and not touching the ground where people trample. Then on Tuesday, and we got some vessels to carry his food, because I had to carry the food to him, thinking that no, I will not use our vessels. So bought a few vessels. He was taking only 1 or 2 items only. Then a small pan to cook his food. On Tuesday, I was ready and I started chopping vegetables, not talking at all, chanting the mantra that I have. and cooked the food with lot of feelings, love, respect, devotion. But at the same time, I was a little afraid because I had heard that he would understand if you have not cooked the food pure with a pure mind, and if he feels so, he may reject the food. So there was back of the mind, there was a fear that, have I prepared well? Have I prepared well? Will he accept or reject? Then when I went and offered and served him food, he took it with a lot of relish and said, very good, very pure food. I'm very happy. So I passed the exam. I felt very happy. Then next Tuesday, again I started all over and went and took food, and he liked it. Like this, 2-3 weeks passed, and I found that every week my anxiety and fear is growing. Because having passed once or twice, the third time I am feeling that twice I have passed, now what will happen this time? And every time I would chant my mantra and try to keep my mind pure. That pure means no other thoughts coming, only thinking divine thoughts. But all thoughts from everywhere used to come. So then I was becoming very tense. And I thought that what is this? I got such a good opportunity, such a blessed opportunity to cook for a Mahatma and serve him food. Instead of giving peace to my mind, this is giving me tension and anxiety. Why is this so? And then the thought came to me that I am trying to become pure in my thoughts, or refined in my thoughts, holy in my thoughts, only during that Tuesday. While cooking, I am keeping my thoughts divine and holy only on Tuesdays. Rest of the days, what I am doing? I am allowing my mind to go here and there and think anything. So if I do the cooking every day, thinking that I am cooking not for my family, but for God, I will take this to God mentally, offer to Him, and then take prasada. Then it will become my habit. And on Tuesdays, I will not have to struggle anymore. Do you get it? And I did this. From that day, the cooking in the family became for God, offering to Him, and then taking prasada. And then I found that when we do so, doing even in hectic activities, maybe I'm very hectic in the kitchen even, having to cook for many people, or many other things are coming up, your mind becomes meditative. So then I understood that whatever work you do, that is why in Bhagavad Gita it is said, Swakarmana tam abhyarchya, in 18th chapter. Swakarmana tam abhyarchya. That is, by your work you worship Him. And in every work, every piece of work, it cannot be a piece of work. It cannot be a piece of work. Whether you are folding your clothes, or you are keeping the books tied in a arranged manner, or you are dashingly going out to your office, any work cannot be a piece of work which you have done. It has to be an offering. Has to be an offering where I have thought that, oh God, you have given me this work. I have tried to do with all my heart. And please accept it. This is what I could do my best. If you feel that I should do better, please give me that ability, O my Lord. Till now you have given me only this much, and so I am able to do this much. Talk to God. Talk to God like this. Then He becomes your friend, whom you can say everything. We cannot tell many things to our near and dear ones. Husband and wife also cannot tell each other many things. You cannot tell your parents anything, everything, to children. But you can tell your God who is just inside you, that I'm like this. Please make me better. I'm finding that I'm becoming lazy. I have an yearning, but that is not becoming full-fledged. Oh God, please make my yearning 100%. Please make me leave this idleness and the lethargy and the procrastination that I have. Please make me sincere. I remember in many times, I had a spiritual diary. Whoever is serious, you must write a diary. How your mind is working. Not, I went there, I saw this, I ate this, I met this friend. Not like that. You just watch your mind, which Swamiji is telling you, and then write how your mind has been on the previous day. What you intend to do with that mind. Suppose you find that there was a speck of jealousy or competitiveness. Write it. And also write what you are going to do with that, how you are going to handle it. So many times in my diary I have written, oh God, I want to be sincere in this path. And sometimes I find that sincerity just takes the back seat. Many other things have come up in front. Please make me sincere in this path. Make me have no expectation. Make me have no expectation. I'm just like nature, where nature has no expectation. If you look at the mango trees, you will find every year after year, at the same season, the flowers will come, the fruit will come, the fruit will ripen. It does not even think whether those fruits anybody is eating or they have fallen onto the ground or it has come useful to somebody. Nature doesn't look into it. There is a flower in our ashram. We call it Nishagandhi locally. It's beautiful, it's white in color, and the bud starts forming, say, about 5-6 days before it blooms. And the bud, slowly it will come like the lotus bud. Then there is a stalk. Ultimately, when it is about to ripe, the stalk comes like this, and like a snake, the bud comes like this. There is a stalk like this, and then the bud. And strangely enough, it blooms at 8 p.m. And from 8 p.m. to 12 p.m., it blooms. It becomes the biggest at that time. And from 12 to 4, it closes. So at that time of night, who is going to see that flower? Such a beautiful flower, but still it is blooming. And what are we? If we do a little bit of something good or something meritorious, we want everybody to praise us, everybody to recognize it, at least watch it and tell us some good words. This flower is blooming in a beautiful manner in the middle of the night, nobody to watch it. And what is that? Offering to God. Offering itself to God. We should be like that. That is our garden inside our heart. We should make that garden an offer to God. That is what we should do. I wish all of you will make some routine. As I said, that no amount of reading, no amount of listening, no amount of satsang even will help you unless you yourself go into yourself, watch yourself, you have a yearning and you practice, make some effort, and that aim should be burning. What is that aim? That I want to be everlastingly happy, fearless, unaffected, and let me bloom like a flower to be offered at the feet of God. This should be the aim. And for that aim, whatever is necessary you do, whatever is hindrance, you simply remove. This is what I have to say. More than this in 2 days. And it will always help, if one keeps touch with a Mahatma. That is why Guru is necessary. A Guru is absolutely necessary. If any of you really want to pursue this path, you must have a Guru who can guide you. Just like we have a teacher for any subject that we learn. We learn so many subjects, but we go to a teacher to learn. We just don't read the books available in the market and learn it. Similarly, for this knowledge, which is called the supreme knowledge, for that, a person who has known this knowledge, who has realized, who has become this knowledge, who has tread this path and knows how you can go on this path without any difficulty, without getting lost on the path. You have to find out such a person and take his guidance. When you have a guru, you can go to him directly and ask. So certain things, only when some things are general, some things need to be attended to or addressed personally, so that guidance can be given. Okay, do this, then it will be all right. Or do that, then it will become all right. So, like that. And for any spiritual seeker, if you are seeking, if you are pursuing, and your mind is getting elevated, intelligence is becoming sharp, along with that, you will be gaining lot of spiritual qualities, like loving everybody, trying to see God everywhere, and also sympathy for people, sacrificing, all those selfless activities you will be interested in. So there will be a lot of change in you. You will not hurt anybody by your action or behavior. All those changes will come. And we have seen people who have been very rough, who have been very angry. They have changed. Change is possible, always possible, if we want the change. 100% in our mind. If we want to change, we will change. And when that change comes, it automatically changes the people around. Wherever you are having difficulty with your partner or your parents or your children, you will find they are also changing. Because they find a change in you. This is how the spirituality spreads. And that is why each one of us should try to go forward in this path. That will bring about lot of harmony in the house, in office, in oneself. First of all, it will come in oneself and then it will spread to everywhere. Okay. Eko vashi sarva bhutantaratma ekam rupam bahudhayah karoti tamatmastham yenu pashyanti dhiraha tesham sukham shashvatam netaresham tesham sukham shashvatam netaresham nityo nityanam chetanaschetananam eko bahunam yo vidadhati kaman tamatmastham yenu pashyanti dhiraha tesham shanti shashvati netaresham tesham shanti shashvati netaresham. One who can feel and realize that Lord inside oneself, the one who being one without a second takes any names and forms. Realizing him inside one's heart, one gets happiness and peace everlastingly. Others do not get. This is the shloka. Okay. Jai Guru.